Hi, I'm Lucas, and this is Tuesday. It's TOEFL Tuesday, so we're talking about the TOEFL. I'm from magoosh.com, where we can help you with the TOEFL. And today, an interesting question: do native speakers, like me, get perfect scores on the TOEFL? So if you grow up speaking English all the time, does that mean you will get a perfect score on the TOEFL? The answer is, surprisingly, not always. Sometimes, yes. Often, yes. But it depends on the person. So, for example, if you are talking about a TOEFL teacher like me, who already knows the test well, who knows how to take the test and the types of questions, then yes, probably they would get a perfect score. I have taken the TOEFL before and had perfect scores in each section. But if you are talking about a student, not a teacher, someone who needs to learn the TOEFL before they take it for the first time, then not always. Sometimes people need to take the TOEFL even though they are native speakers. That's rare. Usually it should be that if you grow up speaking English, you don't need the TOEFL. If you go to a university, a college that has English as the first language, you probably don't need to take the TOEFL. But sometimes it happens. Sometimes people need to. And those students, well, they can get perfect scores, but I have heard from students who have had, say, 100 or 112 or 114 total in their scores because there are some sections of the TOEFL that are strange. For example, the listening section. On the listening section of the TOEFL, you need to really remember a lot of detail. Notes are very important. And if you don't know that, if you don't know the test before you start, then that can be difficult. You might miss something. You might not hear something. And so it's hard to answer the question. If you can't answer the question, then that might mean you get a lower than perfect score. Same with the speaking section. If you don't know the type of question, because the speaking section has some really specific questions. If you don't know that before you start, it can surprise you. Just today, I emailed with a student who is a native speaker, took the TOEFL a long time ago, and scored a 24 on the speaking. Now, that might be surprising. If you don't know the TOEFL speaking section, it's very possible. So you need to prepare even if you are a very advanced speaker. That said, if you're a native speaker, you probably will score over 100 easy. Most schools have requirements that are easy for native speakers to reach. So not all native speakers would get perfect scores, but generally they would get very high scores, high enough for universities. I hope that answers the question, and I hope to see you again next week on Tuesday, where I will talk more about the TOEFL, and you can hear more, you can learn more at TOEFL.magoosh.com. I will see you next week. Happy studying.